Okay, so in my last video that I just finished a second ago, I was explaining about the structure of energy fields and how they reverberate in our bodies and how we can be present to them. So right now, this is what I want to do, is just sit with you for a second and feel the shifts that are happening in your awareness and in my awareness as you absorb that information. And so right now your left brain might be trying to scan crazily to try and make sense of it, and did I get that, and process it all and keep you safe. Whereas right now what's happening in your body is this beautiful process of the neutrality that is you getting it and saying it's okay for this structure that's present, this anxiety, to start to fade away. We don't need that anymore to keep us safe. And so right now, I'm actually just feeling for that in myself. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to me, but I just feel the movement of that. And so I want to respect that in myself at the same time that I'm asking you to do the same. So I'm just going to sit quietly for a second while that happens. And this is actually what it looks like to work from the right side of the brain with energy. Is that right now, my attention isn't on describing anything more to you. It's just to simply feel a sensation that's here that is my right brain presenting fuller information about what's going on here than my conscious mind, my logical left brain is able to track. So my left brain wants to carry on and give you more information, but my right brain is saying there's actually a lot of information here already, and let's just be here, and let's let the body catch up to what the right brain understands. And for some reason my hands want to do this, so let me just do that for a second. And so this actually is the principle that I wanted to teach you as the really practical way of moving forward with your intention. So you came into the program with an idea of what you wanted or intended to have for yourself. And the idea is that you're moving linearly from where you were in time forwards into that and making that happen. Just lost my train of thought, so I'll just be quiet here for a second again. Your right brain already knows. It already is there. The right brain doesn't live in past, present, future. It only lives in present. And in the right brain, because it has access to the full quantum field, it already knows everything about you. It knows everything that you want. It knows the reality, the future that you want to live in, and it can see the clearest path for the next step for you to move towards that. And so learning to be aware of what that information is and to follow its guidance is to be able to move yourself most quickly using both right and left brain instructions towards what you want. And because your right brain also isn't linear, it can move you forward in quantum leaps. Which oftentimes some of those quantum leaps appear as insights, just like all of a sudden a light bulb will go on, or a thought will occur, or suddenly you'll get something, get an idea, or get an understanding, or things will just fall into place. And everybody's had those experiences where all of a sudden something just becomes clear. Your right brain is always clear. So this is the piece I want to give you. So in any moment, your right brain knows where you are. It knows really the big picture of where you want to be, because the intention that you brought to this program is just one piece of your life. There's actually many more things that you want for yourself. And your right brain remembers all of those. It knows how to skip around and pick all of those up for you. It doesn't necessarily take a linear path. And it's always, always with you in the moment and giving you direction about cues, about what to do, what to think, where to go, that sort of thing. For the most part, though, we override those urges that our right brain gives us of shortcuts because they aren't logical to us. And our left brain denies those impulses because of existing fields of energy that exist within us. And so the more we can dismantle those fields of energy, of fear that are afraid, or, you know, that things don't make sense, the more quickly and more nimbly we can navigate towards using our right brain guidance towards what we want. So more energy. I'm just going to sit with that for a second again. So the funny thing is, it looks like I'm doing nothing, except I'm doing way more. And this is what it looks like to work from the quantum realm, is that there's so much information that when you just are able to work with the energy itself and just be in the flow of that, it reorganizes your body, it reorganizes cells, it reorganizes your thinking. And then when that's shifted, here's the cool thing. So right now, let me describe it this way. There's an energy field present that's being presented from your right brain that's saying, I know what's next. You know, I've got it. I have the big picture. I know who you are. I know how you feel. I know what's next. I know everything. And here I am presenting to you that in the form of a feeling. And this is why a lot of times when people listen to my recordings or even read my stuff, they kind of bliss out or conk out. It's because you've given the intention for the energy field that was there before to go away and to be replaced by something that's more fitting with who you are and where you want to be. And these energy fields, when they come in, are really relaxing, really calming, really whole, like you almost, again, collapse into them. And so it's really enjoyable just to sit and feel that change within yourself. And this comes with practice. It comes with trust. It comes with practice. And so I'm describing right now that in your body, there are two things happening. One is that maybe that old energy field that I described earlier is its energy is starting to dissipate. There's less of it there. And what's presenting itself and reorganizing itself in your body as your body is a much more unified, forward-moving energy field that fits where you're going so much better. So allowing for this feeling to happen and just appear to you is really exactly what you need to gain momentum and to move forward after we're done here with whatever action needs to happen. So just allow yourself, if you can, to be where you are right now, feeling-wise, without thinking about it, without analyzing it, without, trying to make sense of it. Just feel what's here. And you can trust that what's showing up is right for you. Maybe in another recording, I'll talk about different ways to play with these fields of energy. I talk about feeling them, but already in the Facebook group, people are talking about different ways that you work with them much more naturally and could work with them much more naturally, which is why in the 5-step and deeper process, I have the thing about play, which is maybe there's a way of you playing with these energies that are already appealing to you from things that you've done in the past or the way that you are, but we'll talk about that later. So there's an energy field presenting itself to you right now, as it is to me, that just feels good. So right now you may notice that as just feeling a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more peaceful, a little more neutral. You may already have conked out, I don't know. But here we are, and so much more of you is in the wholeness that you are, is in right brain awareness right now. And so as you allow that field to be there, what usually or often will come with it is that new thoughts start to come. Thoughts that are related to this field of energy as opposed to the old one. And often the thoughts that will come will be sort of an urge or an impulse to do something. And it doesn't matter what it is. So anytime that you do this process and just feel what's there to be felt and allow it to dissipate and allow something much more gentle, softer, more wholesome, more healing to emerge in your body, and then you allow that to present a thought to you, and then you follow that thought, that is direct guidance from your right brain that understands the whole big picture of what you want and is saying, do this to move you forward. But the thing that we do most often is we discount that when we go back into left brain awareness and go, well, that's silly. How can that, how can that get me to where I want to go? But that's why in shift number 2, I gave the suggestion that the best way to move forward using all of this information and accessing the quantum field, which is where all information, all potential exists, the way to best access that is to think about your intention or think about what's going on in your life right in this moment. That's the other piece I want to give you, is just that you don't have to be anywhere other than right where you are right now. Because if you allow this moment, whatever the moment is, to present to you what's your next step, then it all becomes a journey forward of integrated trust between left brain, right brain. And this is actually where the in deeper process can be useful at any moment. Is just that, so the first step of the in deeper process is to invite up a feeling. So let's say that you invite up the feeling that's most, or the situation that's most useful to you right now. And then you just trust that life will give you whatever shows up in your life is a response to that invitation. And if you say yes to that, you say, oh, okay, life, that's really interesting that you've thrown this on my plate, rather than saying no to it, and you just say, yes, this is a response. And you invite in any moment, as many times a day as you want, because it's always happening that there's left brain, right brain going on. If you, in that moment, invite your body to really demonstrate to you the energy field that's being presented as a result of the situation that you're in, and you go, oh, okay, I sense that, I feel that right there, that's an intense one, or it's not an intense one, or whatever, it's in a different position, whatever. You just let that be there, and then you decide that you're ready for that change, because you're ready to have a flow of energy in your being that's more representative of where you want to be and who you are now. So you decide, and then the next step is to explore, which is one thing I was just demonstrating as we're going here. And so I'm using this moment as it's occurring to me to do that exact same thing for myself. So I'm exploring that energy, and I'm feeling its changing and its fluctuations. And then to play, which we'll talk about in another video or another time, is just how to play with that in your own unique way, because we're all built differently, and you can assume that the way you are is right. The things that you've learned in the past, the experiences you've had, everything that's the way that you're constructed is right to allow yourself to move towards what you want. So we'll look at different ways of playing that might be unique to you, or a little bit different than I'm describing. And then as you feel that, for as long as you want to work with it or feel with it or allow that that new feeling to arise in you, you recheck and just see what does that area feel like now. So hopefully that gave you some good stuff to work with in there. That was a lot. So I'm going to post both of these videos, and we'll just carry on from here. Bye for now.